So hold there. Pull that belly button lower into the floor. Try and come up a little bit higher, keeping your eyes towards your toes. And then take it back down again. So now we're going to be a little bit more active with the legs. So take the hands behind the head. So we're going to point the legs, toes. We're going to squeeze the legs together. So pointing and squeezing together. So take your hands up towards the ceiling, breathing in, chin to chest, into the curl up. So pointing, squeezing legs. How does that feel? Does it make it harder for you? Does it make it easier for you? So really try and send those hands towards the feet and then take it back down again. This time we're going to flex the feet as you come up. So reach your hands to the wall, arch that back a little bit, breathing in. Hands come up towards the ceiling, chin to chest, take it into the curl up. So for some people this will be harder, for some people it will be easier. And then take your hands back to the wall behind you. So, you can stay at this level if you want to, but I'm going to make it a little bit harder for you, as always. So, for those of you that want to work harder, rather than bringing the hands down towards the feet, you're going to keep your hands so that your arms are next to your head. So as you come up, your arms are going more up towards the ceiling. You can also make it a little bit easier by having them a little bit lower. So you can work within this kind of range. So you can go up to there, you can have your hands there, and that one's the easiest. So anywhere between this, that range. So the higher it is, the harder it is. So we're ready? So reach for the wall behind you, point or flex, whichever one you want to do. Take your hands up towards the ceiling, chin to chest and into your curl up. So it's up to you where you want your arms. Easier, arms are lower towards the legs. Harder, arms are towards the ceiling. Now wherever you have your arms, reach them more in that direction. So if it's to the ceiling, reach. If it's to the front, reach. But pull the belly button down, look at your toes. Remember your body goes where your eyes go. So we're still trying to curl up as much as we can. And then take it back down. Who's going blubbering in the face? Where's my non-breathers in the class? So we'll do one more. So reach, 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 reach. Breath in, take the hands up towards the ceiling, chin to chest. And then remember your shoulders do actually move. So whatever time, after years of keeping my elbow, my peripheral vision, my flexibility, my shoulders, not brilliant. So let's move them. So wherever they are, reach for there, reach the ceiling, reach whatever direction your arms are. See if you can get those shoulder blades off the floor a little bit more. So engage your upper abdominal muscles. What else can I talk about? What are you doing this weekend? And then take it back with and have a stretch. Good. Give your body a wiggle. And then we're going to come into seated position. So just grab your leg and rock yourself into seated. Is everybody warming up? Yeah. So we've done the first half of the roll-up. Now we're going to do the half that goes halfway down. Okay? So legs are going to be straight. Just move your blocks away from the back of your mats, just in case you flop backwards. And sit nice and tall. So there's mirror, grab the rings. There's mirrors there. I don't know if you can all see yourself in the mirror. Maybe if you stagger yourself, you might be able to see. But what is your posture like? So sometimes we'll say in the class, sit up straight, and everyone's like. So you want to lift your chest almost into a tiny little bit of an extension, like a little bit of exaggeration in the upper back, which is kind of fine because it's strengthening your upper back. Pull your shoulders back and stick your shoulder blades into your back pockets, hands out to the front with your rings, and engage your legs. So I appreciate those of you with tight hamstrings, you're probably sitting there and your legs are shaking already. So you can point your toes just to give you a bit of space or soften the knees. So take a deep breath. As you exhale, we're going to tuck the tailbones under and start to roll back. And before your lower back touches the floor, so before you lie down, we stop there. So the whole time you're thinking of rib cage to hips. Your arms are lengthening forward, soft across the front of the chest and the face. Take a breath into your back, and then bring yourself up. Once you come up, exaggerate that lengthening. So lift shoulders up and down. Good. And off we go again. So breath in. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone under into your half roll back. Going back as far as you can. So don't look at the person next to you. You don't know what's going on with their backs. Some people have got really stiff backs, so it will stop them going too far back. But again, the whole idea is to round. Take a breath in and start to bring yourself up. Grow nice and tall. Hi, Alison. Good. So now I'm going to flex the feet. 2 with flexed feet. So again, see if that makes it easier or harder for you. Breath in. Exhale as you tuck your tailbones under into your half roll back. So round as much as you can. So pull your ribs down towards your hips. Breathe into your back. Relax your face. And then bring yourself up. Grow nice and tall. Good. So we're going to do 2. We're going to do the last 2. You can stay at that level that you want to work at. Or, like we did in the lying down, you take your arms higher. So within that range over there. That's going to be much harder, having the arms straight up, or like in between there. We're just going to do 2 more. So pick pointed or flex feet, whichever one's easier for you. And then have your arms wherever you want to have them. So, ready? Nice and tall. Take a breath in. As you exhale, tuck your tailbones under. So the higher the arms, the harder it is on the abdominals. So you might find if your arms are higher, you might not be able to go as far back as you did before, but just try. Remember, we want to step out of that comfort zone. Breathe into your back, bring yourself up, grow nice and tall. Have a little shoulder roll, and then the last one, switch your feet. So whatever you want to do with your feet, that's the last one. So breath in. Exhale as you tuck your tailbones under, wherever your arms are for you, either in front or behind. You still want to create that length in the arms. As you go down, round your back, pull those rib cages down towards your hips, pull that belly button in, relax your jaws, your faces, your chests. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bring yourself up. Have a little shake. And then we're going to come into seated on our blocks. So, feeling the legs a little bit higher. Nice. It gets to the nice achy bit now.
Oh yeah, Tina says she hates shoes.
She did really well, actually. She did really well.
She did it twice. She did Monday.
Yeah, and then she came to my class because I said to her, I've stopped her being able to cancel her classes. So she had to come last night. No, she did well. She kept on. I couldn't keep up with myself, so. Have your legs in whatever position. So I'm just trying to take your legs out of this. So if you prefer cross legs, or you prefer that, or if your hamstring's all right and you want to sit like that, that's okay as well. So whichever position takes your legs out of it. And make sure your whole bum is on the block. Lou, is Sam's bum on the block?
You move it to the back. Can't move it.
Because if you were too forward on the block, you land up, rolling your pelvis forward, and then it affects your lower back. So we need to make sure that you're nicely stable on your blocks. Good. And then take your hands up towards the ceiling. So we want to create space between the ribs and the hips. So we want to lift that rib cage up towards the ceiling. We want to lift the ears up towards the ceiling, but not the chin. So we're trying to lift the whole head rather than look up. Okay? So now keep that space in your waist. We're going to take a breath in as you start to rotate to your left hand side. So rotate to the left. What will happen with the spine, it will want to bend a little bit in the left, so it tends to close down through the left. So reach up through the left rib cage to keep that space around your waist.
Are we turning the head right round? Or
if you can. And then your right arm will want to drop down a little bit, so keep reaching with the right arm. So stay there, take a breath in. Now you're going to squeeze all these muscles around your waist and give that spine a little bit more rotation. And then bring yourself back to the front. Have a little shake. Easy, isn't it, Maggie? So, we're going to do the other side now. So, reach up, create space. You should feel that when you're reaching up, you can already feel the tummy pulling in. So, your core is naturally drawing into your back. So, reach, 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 reach. Now, take a breath in as you start to rotate to your right side. The right side's going to want to collapse a little bit. So stretch through that right rib cage. The chin is lifted but not looking up. Ears are lifted. The left hand. So hold there. Pull that belly button lower into the floor. Try and come up a little bit higher, keeping your eyes towards your toes. And then take it back down again. So now we're going to be a little bit more active with the legs. So take the hands behind the head. So we're going to point the legs, toes. We're going to squeeze the legs together. So pointing and squeezing together. So take your hands up towards the ceiling, breathing in, chin to chest, into the curl up. So pointing, squeezing legs. How does that feel? Does it make it harder for you? Does it make it easier for you? So really try and send those hands towards the feet and then take it back down again. This time we're going to flex the feet as you come up. So reach your hands to the wall, arch that back a little bit, breathing in. Hands come up towards the ceiling, chin to chest, take it into the curl up. So for some people this will be harder, for some people it will be easier. And then take your hands back to the wall behind you. So you can stay at this level if you want to. But I'm going to make it a little bit harder for you, as always. So, for those of you that want to work harder, rather than bringing the hands down towards the feet, you're going to keep your hands so that your arms are next to your head. So as you come up, your arms are going more up towards the ceiling. You can also make it a little bit easier by having them a little bit lower. So you can work within this kind of range. So you can go up to there. You can have your hands there, and that one's the easiest. So anywhere between this, that range. So the higher it is, the harder it is. So we're ready? So reach for the wall behind you, point or flex, whichever one you want to do. Take your hands up towards the ceiling, chin to chest and into your curl up. So it's up to you where you want your arms. Easier, arms are lower towards the legs. Harder, arms are towards the ceiling. Now wherever you have your arms, reach them more in that direction. So if it's to the ceiling, reach. If it's to the front, reach. But pull the belly button down, look at your toes. Remember your body goes where your eyes go. So we're still trying to curl up as much as we can. And then take it back down. Who's going blubber in the face? Yeah. Where's my non-breathers in the class? So we'll do one more. So reach, 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 reach. Breath in, take the hands up towards the ceiling, chin to chest. And then remember your shoulders do actually move. So what I've ever done, after years of keeping my elbow, my peripheral vision, my flexibility, my shoulders, not brilliant. So let's move them. So wherever they are, reach for there, reach the ceiling, reach whatever direction your arms are. See if you get those shoulder blades off the floor a little bit more, so engage your upper abdominal muscles. What else can I talk about? What are you doing this weekend? And then take it back with arm. Another stretch. Good. Give your body a wiggle. And then we're going to come into seated position. So just grab your leg and rock yourself into seated. Is everybody warming up?
Yeah.
So we've done the first half of the roller. Now we're going to do the half that goes halfway down. Okay? So legs are going to be straight. Just move your blocks away from the back of your mats, just in case you block backwards. And sit nice and tall. So there's mirror, grab the rings. There's mirrors there. I don't know if you can all see yourself in the mirror. Maybe if you stagger yourself, you might be able to see. But what is your posture like? So sometimes we'll say in the class, sit up straight, and everyone's like. So you want to lift your chest almost into a tiny little bit of an extension, like a little bit of exaggeration in the upper back, which is kind of fine because it's strengthening your upper back. Pull your shoulders back and stick your shoulder blades into your back pockets, hands out to the front with your rings, and engage your legs. So I appreciate those of you with tight hamstrings, you're probably sitting there and your legs are shaking already. So you can point your toes just to give you a bit of space or soften the knees. So take a deep breath. As you exhale, we're going to tuck the tailbones under and start to roll back. And before your lower back touches the floor, so before you lie down, we stop there. So the whole time you're thinking of rib cage to hips. Your arms are lengthening forward, soft across the front of the chest and the face. Take a breath into your back, and then bring yourself up. Once you come up, exaggerate that lengthening. So lift shoulders up and down. Good. And off we go again. So breath in. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone under into your half roll back. Going back as far as you can. So don't look at the person next to you. You don't know what's going on with their backs. Some people have got really stiff backs, so it will stop them going too far back. But again, our whole idea is to round. Take a breath in and start to bring yourself up. Grow nice and tall. Hi, Alison. Good. So now I'm going to flex the feet. 2 with flexed feet. So again, see if that makes it easier or harder for you. Breath in. Exhale as you tuck your tailbones under into your half roll back. So round as much as you can. So pull your ribs down towards your hips. Breathe into your back. Relax your face. And then bring yourself up. Grow nice and tall. Good. So we're going to do 2. We're going to do the last 2. You can stay at that level that you want to work at. Or, like we did in the lying down, you take your arms higher. So within that range over there. That's going to be much harder, having the arms straight up or like in between there. We're just going to do 2 more. So pick pointed or flex feet, whichever one's easier for you. And then have your arms wherever you want to have them. So, ready? Nice and tall. Take a breath in. As you exhale, tuck your tailbones under. So the higher the arms, the harder it is on the abdominals. So you might find if your arms are higher, you might not be able to go as far back as you did before, but just try. Remember, we want to step out of that comfort zone. Breathe into your back, bring yourself up, grow nice and tall. Have a little shoulder roll, and then the last one, switch your feet. So whatever you weren't doing with your feet, that's the last one. So breath in. Exhale as you tuck your tailbones under, wherever your arms are for you, either in front or behind. You still want to create that length in the arms. As you go down, round your back, pull those rib cages down towards your hips, pull that belly button in, relax your jaws, your faces, your chests. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bring yourself out. Have a little shake. And then we're going to come into seated on our blocks. So, feeling the legs a little bit higher. Nice. It gets to the nice achy bit now.
Oh yeah, Tina says she hates shoes.
She did really well actually. She did really well.
She did it twice. She did Monday.
Yeah, and then she came to my class because I said to her I've stopped her being able to cancel her classes. So she had to come last night. No, she did well. She kept on it. I couldn't keep up with myself, so. Have your legs in whatever position. So I'm just trying to take your legs out of this. So if you prefer cross legs, or you prefer that, or if your hamstring's all right and you want to sit like that, that's okay as well. So whichever position takes your legs out of it. And make sure your whole bum is on the block. Lou, is Sam's bum on the block?
You move it to the back. Can't move it.
Because if you were too forward on the block, you land up, rolling your pelvis forward, and then it affects your lower back. So we need to make sure that you're nicely stable on your blocks. Good. And then take your hands up towards the ceiling. So we want to create space between the ribs and the hips. So we want to lift that rib cage up towards the ceiling. We want to lift the ears up towards the ceiling, but not the chin. So we're trying to lift the whole head rather than look up. Okay? So now, keep that space in your waist. We're going to take a breath in as you start to rotate to your left hand side. So rotate to the left. What will happen with the spine, it will want to bend a little bit in the left, so it tends to close down through the left. So reach up through the left rib cage to keep that space around your waist.
Are we turning the head right round? Or
if you can. And then your right arm will want to drop down a little bit, so keep reaching with the right arm. So stay there, take a breath in. Now you're going to squeeze all these muscles around your waist and give that spine a little bit more rotation. And then bring yourself back to the front. Have a little shake. Easy, isn't it, Maggie? So, we're going to do the other side now. So, reach up, create space. You should feel that when you're reaching up, you can already feel the tummy pulling in. So, your core is naturally drawing into your back. So, reach, 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 reach. Now, take a breath in as you start to rotate to your right side. The right side's going to want to collapse a little bit. So stretch through that right rib cage. The chin is lifted but not looking up. Ears are lifted. The left hand. It's easy, that one. I really actually like that one. I like that whole lifting. So we're going to do one more each side in your own time. And then you are going to do one more on your tighter side. Okay? So one each side. And then one on your tighter side. Chop, chop. It'd be like. So we want to be nicely anchored down through the bum cheeks. So if you're going to your left, be aware that the right bum wants to lift. And then when you go to your right side, the left bum will want to lift. So be nice and heavy in your glutes. So you might feel tightness around your back. You might find that it's one leg that feels a bit more awkward. You might find maybe it's the arms. Health and safety. You You might find it's the arms are a little bit stiff in one direction. It's not necessarily going to be your spine or the rotation part of it. So one each side, and then one to your tighter side, and then you can relax. So we are going to come into front lying. So front line, so you don't take lots of your hips or anything, so leave the blocks. We're going to do swan, it's not a full swan dive, just got a ring, maybe a swan prep we'll call it. If anybody has any shoulder issues, you might prefer not to use a ring for this. You might prefer just to have your hands down to the side of you, okay? So, my shoulder is straight. So, for your first one, you'll probably need to have a little play to get yourself in the right place. But try and have your head a little bit more off of your mat over here. Your hands can be either the side of the pads or on the pads. So again, whatever's easiest or more natural for you. And I'm going to put my head down. So my arms are longer than most people. So my elbows will touch the floor, but doesn't mean yours will necessarily touch the floor if you've got shorter arms, okay? So from here, we're going to pull the belly button in. I'm going to lift the head. So at this point, there's still no bum working, there's no arms working. Then I'm going to squeeze my bum, still not pushing on the ring. I'm going to try and lift as much as I can without the ring. Okay. Then I'm going to push down and lift. So for me, I would probably bring that a little bit closer. Better. So my shoulders are down my back. You might think, oh, you get up there and you haven't got that in your back, then you can move yours a little bit further away from you. Okay? This is very, very tricepy. It's a huge exercise on the bingo wings. So again, anybody with shoulders, you might prefer the ring down, the hands down next to your shoulders. So, hands on the rings or wherever, head on the floor. Good. So, belly button in without the bums working. Then let the head float up, pull the shoulders back without the bums or the hands. Then squeeze your bum, reach your legs away so that you get more strength in your back, lifting the upper parts of the body without the hands, and then use the hands and push up. Nice, Helen. As you push up, elbows come in, so be aware there's a big temptation for elbows to come out. It makes it more chesty. We want to really get those triceps. And then it's a case of, it's your back, how high can you come? So don't look at the person next to you, and then relax down. So remember, there's no competition. Sometimes people come up really high and they're actually like grating their lower vertebra together. Ego. Okay, so we're ready? Belly buttons, shoulders down the back, head, then the legs, then use the body, then send the hands down to the ring. So wherever you have your head is going to depend on how high you come up. If you're quite low, the chin will be slightly down to create length in the back of the neck. If you come up higher, your gaze will probably be in front of you. Check where your shoulders, so feel, does it feel like your shoulders are hugging the back of your neck, or do your shoulders feel like they're sliding down your back? And then relax down. So if you do another 2 more, get out of the way. So do another 2 more. So you know how to recruit the muscles, so you can do it a bit quicker than what we've done it. But make sure that you're not just pushing on the ring from the start. You want to make sure that the back is working. Where are your shoulders? Everyone feel this in the arms? So, after you've done your 2, hold it there, Maggie. There, feel that?
Yeah.
After you've done your 2, just have a quick child pose or a cat stretch or something. We're going to come back into this. We're going to come back into this. So, once everybody's had a little stretch, I want you to come back into the swan. So back onto your ring, back up nice and high, or as high as you can go. So just like you've just done.
Flexion back, so
If you do a dart one, so from there, rather than going up there, just focus on soft hands.
yeah.
So it works more that part. So just keep it really low.
Yeah.
So, hands are wherever they are for you. So take yourself up, so apart from Sarah, take yourself up as high as you can go. So pull the shoulder blades together, there we go. And then the more you keep the hands soft, it will stop you pushing too hard. There we go. So now, so this part you'll be able to do, Sarah. So squeeze your left bum cheek, reach the left bum cheek away, and how high can you lift the left bum cheek? Or the leg? Without bending the left leg. So this is a very glute exercise. And now switch legs, but notice if you started dropping down in your body. So right leg, squeeze above, how high can you lift the right leg? Straight knees, there's a few spaghetti knees here. And then both bums. So how high can you lift the legs without your body rolling back down to the floor? So we're trying to keep the body as high as it was when you started. And then relax. And then you can have a child pose again. We're all done with that one. All done with that one.
Yeah.
And then come back into seated position. Have your legs out in front of you. If you want to sit on a block, you can sit on a block. Have your legs out in front, and then hold your ring out in front as well. So legs out in front, ring out in front. So we're going to check to see if you sat nice and tall. Maybe you're tilting back a little bit, or maybe the spine's a little bit rounded. So I'm going to activate everything. So like we did with this rotation one, lift the rib cage. We still want to have that space. The only difference is our arms are not in the air. So we want to create that energy in the body. So point or flex your feet entirely up to you, and send your hands out to the front of you. So we're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, tuck the chin into the chest, bring the head down in between the arms. And then we're going to try and bring your forehead to your pubic bone. And then when you can't go anymore, now start to reach your arms forward. So this is not a hip hinge, especially for those that are a bit more flexible in the legs. We're not trying to lie down on our legs, we want to round your spine. So the top of your head is the top of the C, your pubic bone is the bottom of the C. So how round can you make your back? Now bring your shoulder blades into your back pockets, grow nice and tall, and have a little shoulder roll. Good. So switch your feet, whichever one you didn't do, hands out to the front of you, breath in. As you exhale, chin to chest, get a nice stretch down the back of your neck. Put your forehead towards your pubic bone, so again, turn round. If you were a contortionist, you'd be able to make your spine all swirly-whirly. When you can't go anymore, reaching those arms forwards. Again, don't forget your shoulders, get the whole shoulder, everything moving. Pull the belly button into the wall behind you. Now see if you can scoop your tailbone under a little bit more, as though we were going to roll back. And you might find a little bit more space in your lower spine. And then bring yourself up, and nice and tall, and then give it a shake. And then we're going to come onto it. What's wrong, Maggie? Hey?
Right, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Otherwise, again, when you squeeze that leg up a little bit, knock me. Hands down to the side of you. And we're going to do spine curls. So we're going to do 2 with the rings. I do appreciate it's quite hard. So, breath in. Roll your pelvis towards you as you breathe out. So draw your hip bones towards your rib cage. Send your lower back into the floor. Now start to give that ring a little squeeze, or a big squeeze. Squeeze your bum and start to send your hips up towards the ceiling. Go on, Maggie, give that ring a squeeze.
I thought I wasn't supposed to squeeze it.
Now you are. So lift your booties. And now, from the shoulders to your bra strap, bring that down. Bra strap to middle back, or cupping. Yeah. Middle back to pelvis neutral, and then relax your knees. It's challenging with the ring, isn't it?
It's horrible.
Yeah, horrible. That's why we're only doing 2. So we'll do 1 more, and then we're going to do more spine curls, but we're going to have the ring in our hands. So, breath in, pelvic tilt first, then give the ring a squeeze, and then start to peel yourself up towards the ceiling, 1 vertebra at a time, making sure the weight is not across the neck or the head. So really feel into your head and your neck at this moment. How much weight is really in there? It should be light, there should be freedom of movement within there. Cramping?
Yeah. Always down.
They're a bugger for cramps. And now, bring from shoulders to bra strap. Try and keep that bum as high as you can, keep the squeeze on. From bra strap to lower back to neutral, release your ring. And then take it away. So give your legs a jiggle. We're going to carry on with spine curls, but we're going to hold the spine curl, not hold the spine curls in the air, hold the ring in the air. I'd like to see that. I'm good, but I'm not that good. That'll probably be called like a jackknife or something. So, hands up towards the ceiling. And we're going to do a spine curl. So roll the pelvis towards you, squeeze your bum cheeks and start lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. And then we want to have that whole big reach. Remember the reach we did at the beginning of the class. So reach for the ceiling, reach for the wall behind you, and work within that range that is not painful for your shoulders. Now imagine there's a hook on the wall, and you're going to try and hook your ring on the wall and keep it on the wall. As you start to bring yourself down 1 vertebra at a time. So if your arms start to come away, the ring's going to come off the hook. Once you're back in neutral, bring your arms back up towards the ceiling.
You cramping? Yeah.
Thing is, once they stop, they don't stop, you know. So, on your next one, I want you to have once you take your arms back, take the elbows to the peripheral vision, so they're at the corner of your eyes. And then what I want you to notice, especially Debbie, is one arm closer to your head than the other arm? Okay, so this is now leading to proprioceptors. What you think your arms are straight? Are they actually in alignment with the rest of the body? It might be you have a skewed neck. So some people naturally, it's like Paula Radcliffe, how she runs with a funny neck. Some people naturally have a tilt to one side or a kink, maybe they've had an injury or something. So pay attention to the alignment of your neck and where are your arms in relation to that. So take yourself up into your spine curl. Once your bum's in the air, then send your hands to the wall behind you. If you can see where your elbows are, then take them as far back, but sometimes I find if they're too far back, you can't see your elbows. So where are your elbows in relation to your eyes? Are both elbows equidistant from your eyes? I know. So Debbie, keep your arms where they are, but move your head slightly to the left. Not roll it, move it. That's better. Does that feel really wonky now?
Yeah, it does actually.
So, as you come down, keep watching your elbows and also notice maybe one arm wants to come down before the other arm. So is there a little bit of a pulling sensation in one side that you're not getting in the other side? So maybe as you come down, your right arm's trying to come down first. So maybe there's tightness down the right side of the body, it's pulling the arm down. And then once you come down, you can relax. Good. That wasn't so bad, was it? So we're going to do a little bit of abdominals now. Hooray! So we're going to do a single leg stretch. Okay? Now, when we come to the single leg stretch of the ring, I'm going to pull one leg in and send the other one. My aim is to try and touch the furthest toes. So I'm going to pull it, send my body towards the ring. This leg I'm actively pulling in, and then I'm going to switch. So I'm going to pull and then try and reach on the toes and then switch. Pull the knee in, reach on the toes. Okay? So hold your hands onto the ring. What's wrong, Katie?
You need to be real coordinated for this one.
Why?
In my head, I look like you when I'm doing it.
You do look like me.
Unfortunately.
I noticed yesterday how tight my right hip flex. I'm like, it's just not going in there. So, come into a curl up, legs in tabletop. Now if anybody does get sore necks, just put your head on the blocks. You can keep your head down if it's causing you lots of discomfort. So remember, your aim is to try and send your ring to the toes of the straight leg. So pull your left knee towards your chest and then straighten the right leg. Now when you pull your left knee in, it wants to come in line with the shoulders. Same concept of when we are in alignment with the hips, the knees need to be in alignment with the shoulders. So we don't want knees peeling out. Now reach your ring towards the toes. So give yourself a little bit of a as you lift your body, and then switch, and then reach for the toes, pull those knees in. The knees need to come on the inside of your arms, and then switch. Yeah, that was right, Debbie. And then switch. Pull the knee in, reach the leg, and switch. Oh Maggie, you look fabulous. And switch. And switch. We're going to start to speed it up. But you would want to keep that stability and switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. So reach those arms away, reach the legs away, give your bellies a little rub. So we're going to do double legs, but we're going to start nice and small, so that we can get all the technique right, and then we'll add in the big one. So for this one, put a block under your head to start with if you haven't got one already, and we're going to keep our feet on the floor for these. So let me just show you this first part. So what we're trying to do with the double leg stretch is we don't want our head bopping up and down the whole time. So we're going to come into the curl up. And the arm's going to go towards the head, the ceiling, elbows where I can see them, and then we're going to bring the hands back down. That's all we're going to do. What we don't want is with the whole back and the head. Only thing that moves is the arms. Okay? Dissociation of the shoulder. Can you move arms without everything else involved? So absolute stability in the torso. So knees bent. So come into your curl-ups. Send your ring towards your knees. Now stay in that curl-up. Whatever that curl-up is for you. Some people can come up a bit higher. There might be more flexibility in the back or whatever. Now take your hands towards the ceiling without your head or your body dropping back. Keep your knees, your toes, keep your eyes to your knees. And then bring the arms down again. Take the arms back towards the ceiling. Arms to the knees, back to the ceiling. We're going to do 3 more. Arms to knees and ceiling. Joe, tuck your chin in a bit more. Chin. Ceiling, last one. Muscle memory. And then relax. Okay? So we're going to give the upper abdominals a little rest. Because I'm nice like that. But we're going to work the lower abdominals instead. So bring your legs into tabletop, front feet. So heels together. See how that feels in your back. So if it's too much, just do one leg at a time. So heels together, knees apart. Take a breath in. So don't worry about your arms or anything. This is just the legs. Breath in, squeeze your feet as you exhale, take them towards the ceiling edge, keep your head down, and then straighten your legs. So how low you take it is different for everybody. Bring your legs back in again. So you want to make sure your lower back, put your legs in, Debbie, you want to make sure your lower back is on the floor the whole time. Unless you have got longer hip flexors, and maybe you can get away with a neutral pelvis, but ideally for safety, keep the back down. So breath in, we're going to do 1 more with the legs. Head down, everything stays down, we're only working the legs. So reach away with those legs. Now I want to squeeze your thighs together, so I should be able to pull your legs apart. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Is your back down? Hopefully. So,
you can't use it.
look at your muscles. So, we ready? So, the first one we're going to do slow. So, breathe. So, I can cue everything and then we'll do quicker ones. So, ring is in your hands, legs in tabletop. Come into your curl up. Front legs. Now, take a breath in. As you exhale, the arms go to the ceiling, the legs go straight. So remember, we don't want to be moving in the curl up. Bring the knees in, hands to knees. And then take it back out again. So straighten the legs, arms to the ceiling. Squeeze your legs together, reach those hands up, bring the knees back in. Good, and then head down. Okay? So, if you wanted to do 5 and stay up in that curl up the whole time, you can do that. Or if you want to do 1, come in, put your head down, have a relax. 2, you can do them in singles. What I will say is if you were going to keep the head up the whole time and you do 2 and you think, flipping that, I'm dying here, stop. Okay, it's better to have a little break and do it properly than let your form go. It's not a competition to see who can stay up the longest. This is the end of the class, you're already quite tired. So, in your own time, 5. So if you really want to challenge yourself, maybe have that little rest in between, but how low can you take your legs? Because that's really hard as well. So hold it there, and now send your hands that way. There we go, and then pull it in. And then after your 5, relax. Remember, the whole thing is your back needs to be down. The curl up, if you are staying up, your curl up stays up. Eyes to your knees or your toes, don't look at the ceiling. So So your chin needs to be in all the time. In fact, look at your pananis. Give your pananis some love. So just have a nice big stretch. And then we're going to use the ring for a little hamstring stretch. So pop your right leg into the pad and straighten the leg up towards the ceiling. Now for some of you, if you've got shorter arms, you might not necessarily be able to reach the pad and have a straight leg. Straighten your other leg on the floor. Good. So maybe you can even have a little block under your head if you find you need a bit more space in your arms. Or I can give you a belt. Good. So find the point of lots of discomfort. So where we normally maybe start on a 3 or a 4, be on about a 5. Okay, so you can feel that hamstrings there, but try and keep your knees straight. So don't be tempted to bend your leg, and flex the foot, curl those toes back. You should feel that a little bit more. So now take a breath in. As you exhale, pull the leg towards you for a 6 or a 7, and we're going to hold that for 20 seconds. Keep engaging the front of the leg. So remember, when we engage the quad muscles work antagonistically. It encourages the muscles at the back of the leg to lengthen. So 5 more seconds. I think we've done a bit longer. So we're going to do one more breath in. Exhale, pull that leg towards you, so maybe about a 7 now. Remember, we're not trying to hurt ourselves, we're just after discomfort, a little bit more towards the top end of discomfort, not so much pain. So we don't want to be lying there pulling our leg out of our hip. And then relax the leg, give the leg a shake, switch legs. So find your number 5 on the scale, and remember your legs are different. So if this is your tighter leg, it might not necessarily go as far as the other one did. Okay? Okay. Straight to the other leg. So, straight knees if you can get it. So squeeze your kneecaps, give your thighs a squeeze, flex that foot. And now take a breath in, draw the leg a bit closer. So now we're on a 6. Keeping that knee as straight as you can. There's no point kissing your knee if the leg's bent. Five seconds. Take a breath in again. Bring that to a 6 or a 7. Keep the, try and keep your quad engaged, your knee engaged to keep that hamstring lengthened. For another 15 seconds. And then relax the leg. Give your legs a shake. So we're going to come into all 4s and then into standing with your rings. So just get up any safe way that you want to be in this position. How low you go down or high is entirely up to you. But have your knees soft so you come out of the hamstrings. You're not in the hamstrings. So feet are hip width, legs are nice and bent. So for some people, maybe a bit higher. Now keep your arms glued next to your ears. Keep the chin tucked in. Take a breath in. Relax your necks. As you exhale, start to roll up. Pull that tummy in. Remember, it's not our spine lifting the body, it's the muscles. Keep the arms next to the head, all the way up towards the ceiling. And then reach for the sky. Reach for the stars or something. I should never sing, should I? So, take a breath in, chin to chest. Reach the arms away, but now imagine you have a piece of chalk on your forehead and you're going to draw a line down the center of with your body. So we want to stay really tight in the roll down. It's just the arms that are reaching. Keep your knees bent the whole time. I know for some of you it's easy to have straight legs. And then bring yourself back up again. So roll up. Keep the knees bent, keep the knees bent. So getting your quad muscles more. And then once you come up, reach again, and then relax your arms. Good, so just pop your ring on the floor quick. So a nice little flop. Floppity floppity.
Oh my god, Eva.
She's moved! I'm out of my comfort zone! And then come back to the front. I'm going to start running around now. So reach your hands up, and a big squeeze. Reach, 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 reach. Try and touch the ceiling. Go on, Joe, you got miles to go. Sam's the winner. And then we go back down.